Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. I am your co-host, Jarett. She is our host and executive director of the Knoll Family Foundation, Kellie Knoll. Kellie, I'm excited. Another episode of Bradley's House.
Absolutely. And we have a really fun one today. I always like the ones where we can bring in some, sublime history and friends of my brother's. And so this is going to be a really special episode today. I'm excited.
Absolutely. I am so excited for this one. As you know, Kellie, when we started this podcast, I put together a short list of must-haves, people that we had to get to. And I'm so happy today that we are able to have a Long Beach music legend, a man whose voice is synonymous with the sound of Long Beach through the 90s and 2000s. One of my all-time favorite musicians. I am so excited to introduce RAS-1 to the podcast. Ras, how you doing today, man?
I'm great. How are you?
I am. I'm very excited to have you here. I'm better than I deserve, is usually what I tell Kellie.
Well, thank you very much, man. I'm honored to be here.
Thanks. For being
God,
with us.
you've been one of our highest requested guests, and I know your schedule's been busy. You've had a lot of cool stuff going on, so we've been playing a little back and forth. We are finally able to get you to sit down. Let's start with what you got going on right now, man. I saw that there's just been a music video released, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit postponed because I just got some great news that Fat Mike from NoFX with Fat Records wants to sign my band.
Awesome.
Wow.
Congratulations.
And so, yeah, I'm really, really stoked on that. So, record's almost done all the way for full length. And it's funny because I was wearing a NoFX shirt in my new video. And I didn't even know we were going to do it, and I sent it to him. He's like, I like the video too. And he likes all my songs, and it's really makes me happy. And also, I have a show coming up in Boston with Cypress Hill and Method Man and Redman. And it's a hemp fest, so I hope that isn't bad for the cause of Bradley's House, but,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun show. Good for you.
Yeah.
Is that the Cultivators Cup?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, the Cultivators Cup. I know Badfish is going to be there as well.
Yeah, they're playing the night before us. And I've been doing my record with Jungle Josh. And Jungle Josh and I have been making this great record. It's really awesome.
Oh, man. It's I can tell you, as a fan, it's so exciting to know that you've got new music coming out and seeing you back in front of fans and doing what you do. It's really been great to see, man. So welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. I have a great band. It's just a 3-piece power trio. Me on guitar and vocals, and my friend Joel Aguilar on drums, and my friend Khaleesi on the bass.
Awesome. That's a formula that's been known to work in the past.
Yes, it has. Yeah. It gives it a different sound live than it is on the recordings, but it's great to play live again. It's really awesome to play live again.
Well, Ras, I think all of our listeners are probably pretty familiar with you, but for those who aren't, let's kind of start with from the beginning, man. What was your introduction into music?
Well, my mom always played music. She used to come down to my school and perform for the kids, and she'd go from classroom to classroom. And so I always grew up listening to my mom playing guitar and singing. And she was like a total hippie, like before they were even called hippies, And so ever since I was a little kid, from before I was in kindergarten, watching her play at the house, then having her play all through my elementary school years and on to that. She had a band when I was in junior high too, and then they were called Dream. They were an all-girl jazz band, bebop jazz. And so I was always raised on jazz and blues and folk, you know what I mean? And my brother always brought home like hip hop and stuff like that, my brother Carmen. And I listened to all types of music forever, and then I started playing in a few lousy bands that never got out of the garage. They weren't all lousy. They were pretty good. But I started a band right after I saw Sublime the first time, called Jot Children. The next day after we saw Sublime, and that was for like 5 years, maybe 6 years, and we would play with Sublime, actually opening for them. And we played numerous backyard parties, always something like that. We played like some shows at like Parks and Watts, like after the riots, things like that. But and then after Bradley Snow passed, Eric and Bud asked me to join the Long Beach Dub All Stars, to join a band together. We didn't have a name for it or anything, but we were going to do the Enough Already benefit. And so me and Eric and Bud got together and practiced a few times, and it was really cool sounding, And then I came to the other practice, and then Bud and Opie and Miguel and Marshall, and everybody was there. And so it was like, bam, I also got called Tim Wu, and we had somebody called Tim Wu and Ike Owens. I knew Ike really well, and I had him call Tim Wu, and so all those guys showed up, right? And I said Marshall too, right? And then we started the band, Long Beach Dub All Stars. So we practiced a few times, and then we did our first show at the Galaxy, and then we did a show called the Enough Already benefit, and that was for MAD, or what was it called?
MAP.
Musicians Assistance Program.
Yeah.
MAP.
That was January of '97.
Yeah, '97.
Yeah.
And and so that's where the first real like feeling of a bam, Dub All Stars. We were called the Long Beach Dub All Stars, and then I was also in a band called All Day before that, a punk rock band called All Day. So I had already played reggae, and I already played punk rock. I was playing them both at the same time, and so Eric knew that I was the guy, the go-to guy, and so that's where Dub All Star started, and then Short Bus, and now myself with RAS-1, solo.
It's been a ridiculous musical run for you, Ras. Now, talk to me a little bit about, you said you went and saw Sublime play, and that influenced you to start this band, and then you got a chance to play at shows with them. What was it like getting the call from Eric and Bud and being like, hey, man, we want you to come and sing for this new project?
Oh, it was a trip, man. I was like, whoa, this is, it's kind of scary, like bittersweet also, you know what I mean? Like, cause it's like, Brad's the guy, he was the guy, he made Sublime, and them to ask me to do it, it was awesome, it was crazy. It was cool. Definitely cool, but I mean, it was cool to be able to carry it on, you know what I mean? That's what so yeah, I was overwhelmed, but I was there. I was there with bells on.
Yeah, you sure were, and you guys had some, amazing, two amazing albums that you guys were able to get out, and I mean those songs are legendary in the scene.
The chemistry was there right away, like with me and Eric, but chemistry was there. Like I used a few effects that Brad didn't use on guitar, and they were like, "Wow, this is sounding cool," and so yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and we certainly enjoyed it as well. I could tell you, for Sublime fans, to be able to have some version of the music out there with the All-Stars was something that was, as important to you guys, I'm sure, as it was to the fans. What was it like as you guys were all getting together? Because, I mean, again, Sublime was a three-piece on stage. Yeah. I mean, at the beginning of Right Back, there were 10 of you guys in the studio.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
How crazy was that?
It was pretty crazy, dude. It was like a lot of cooks in the kitchen, But mostly, I mean, I'm not trying to be big head or anything, but I was writing a lot of the lyrics, and me and Eric and Bud were coming up with the music together a lot. So it was good. I mean, everybody else sprinkled, the sugar on top of it too. You know what I mean? So it was really cool. It was badass.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And like I said, it was something that we certainly enjoyed from the fans. And, again, you go from, you're doing garage bands, like you said, bands that never got out of the garage to you get this call. Next thing you know, you're doing MTV videos with Will I Am, and you guys are a theme song for an NBC sitcom. I mean, what a ride for the All-Stars and for your career. And it seemed like it happened pretty fast, huh?
Yeah, it did happen really fast. Yeah, it was really fast. Uh, it was a whirlwind of great times. Great times.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Now, Ras, one of the things that we talk about here, and obviously is not just Sublime and the music, but we talk a lot about recovery and some of the things that musicians have gone through. Are you comfortable maybe answering some questions and talking a
Oh
little
yes,
bit about?
totally. I am totally ready to talk about everything. I was a total full-blown addict for years and years and years, and I was doing drugs when I was with Dub All Stars. I was doing drugs after the Dub All Stars the whole time with Short Bus, and I quit doing music. I was so fucked. Can I say fuck? I was so fucked up for a long
Yes, you
time.
can.
I was so fucked up for a long time. Yes.
Mm.
So I'm 3 years clean now, so I have no problem talking about it.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you, Kelly.
So talk to us a little bit about the differences now between writing music and performing music from when you were using to now being 3 years clean, sober. I mean, you can hear the happiness in the music and in the songs that you're writing. Is it a big difference in the process?
Oh yeah, well not really, because like a lot of the times I wasn't really using bad drugs so much as weed, and a little bit of alcohol back then. But on Wonders of the World, I was fucked up on a lot of drugs. But that's why Paul Leary made me go to rehab. But aside from that, now I get a song in my head. It'll be a song sometimes that I've had in my head for 15 years, and I'll just be like, bam, and I'll just sit there, and it'll come to me easier. It seems like, because I write whatever's the first thing that comes to my head anymore. Like nowadays, I'm having a great time writing these new songs. And they're probably some of the best songs I've ever written, I think.
Well, that's awesome. And I mean, obviously we all know that if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a wonderful Christmas. But I got to wonder if it wasn't for the drug use. And like you said, you're pretty fucked up during Wonders of the World. I know you weren't alone. How far that group in the All-Stars could have went.
Well, they still are going, without me, They got the new album without me, But,
yeah, but it's not.
We could have gotten any longer because there was a lot of people butting heads.
It's not the same. It's not the same lineup. And, we love Marshall. We've had him on the podcast here. I'm a huge fan of him. And, Opie and the guys, they're making amazing music and they're out there on the road. I have nothing but love and respect. I still purchase all of their music, but it's a completely different band than what Right Back and Wonders of the World were. I mean, that was truly the essence of Long Beach. You had Bud and Eric and yourself, and Miguel was on a lot of Right Back. It was a completely different lineup than what you're looking at.
Yeah, Miguel would help me finish out. Miguel used to help me finish off songs like all the time. We like together like Paul McCartney and Lennon. Not as good as them, but I mean, right?
Well,
Me and Miguel would finish off those songs a lot too. Yeah, and so we it was like it was me and somebody else in the band. We were partying pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, and I was partying way harder than anybody. I was using heroin. I was smoking cocaine. I was really abusing my life, abusing drugs really bad. Like anything you could put in my mouth, I would swallow it. Like I was on everything but roller skates. Okay. But that didn't help with the band at all. That was screwing the band up. That was screwing the band up bad. If it wasn't for Paul Leary putting me in rehab, I would have died probably, you know? And so that didn't help much. And besides that, personal differences between people, and like it's really hard to keep together a band. And there's 8 guys in the band, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that band wasn't going to go much farther at the time.
Is there any chance of maybe seeing RAS-1 singing with the All-Stars again? Because I got to tell you, you go back in the archives, we had Marshall on the podcast, and he said that he wasn't necessarily out on having RAS-1 singing with the All-Stars.
Oh, no, if they wanted me to get on stage with them, I would get up on stage with them, jam, yeah. Hell yeah. But I'm still going to focus mainly on my solo stuff, you know. But sure. I wouldn't mind get up on stage with those guys, man. The last time I did was at the Anaheim High School Blues, and Opie goes, "We're gonna bring out RAS-1," and the whole crowd went crazy. You know, it was awesome. It was like wow, just like it was a rush. You know, I had just been out of the convalescent home for a little while, you know, and I was still barely walking. So when I got on stage, I was like, this is what I want to do again, you know? But yeah, it was awesome to be on stage with the All-Stars again. So I'm not ruling that out at all.
Now, you said that you guys, you had opened some shows for Sublime back in the day. That's correct, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was that like, and what were those Sublime shows like? Do you have any memories of any of those?
Yeah, man. I went to go see Sublime in a backyard party in like 1989, and it was like the coolest thing that ever happened in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like, aside, like, no, at all, you know? These guys get it. I go, I'm like waiting for Brad to get there, and Eric and Bud were setting up. I'm talking to Eric a little bit, you know, I didn't have any idea what was going to go on. My friend told me before I went, he goes, "You should see this band because the singer's really good." I go, "Okay, cool." So I go there, man, and like, I swear to God, dude, they played for like 4 hours. Like, in the middle of the set, Bud broke his snare drum. He didn't have an extra snare. He took the time to rip off his snare drum, the top of it, put some duct tape on it, finish the set with that, you know, and they played until the cops came, you know. I think we knocked a fence down into the neighbor's yard. There was like, the whole backyard was like 400 people, all kinds of chicks, you know. It was a blast, you know what I mean? So much fun. And then Sublime always had these like group of people like Georgie and Eno and all types of people that would always go to their shows, you know, and like it was like bring a vibe, you know, like you know, they had like their fans were for their friends also, you know, and so after a while, Sublime you wouldn't even have to have a flyer for the party, and like people would show up, you know what I mean? It would be like a whole backyard full of people, you know what I mean? And it was badass, you know, and then they started playing clubs, and I went and saw them with No Doubt at a place called Go Bananas, and it was cool. It wasn't as fun as in the backyard party, so awesome. I mean, it was awesome, but it wasn't as fun. I'll say straight out. But you know, you had to go through those gigs with the small clubs and shit to get to where they were at, and so they did that for a long time too, you know. And but then I started hanging out with those guys when Opie was doing my tattoos, like, and then they started playing like the Warped Tour and stuff, because like Date Rape went big, you know, and that's when it started going crazy cool. But up to then, it was still cool though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when Date Rape took off in that Warped Tour, it was bombs from there. So it was kind of neat that you were around from, you know, kind of the beginning, seeing this. you can hear a little bit of that style that Brad has especially in Wonders of the World. I think it's safe to say that he was a pretty big influence on you musically, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. If it wasn't for those guys, I would have never played reggae. Though, like was as a main thing, you know. Like Brad was a huge influence on me, and he still is to this day. Like if I write a song, you know how Brad would always incorporate songs that he like grew up on. You know, like he a lot of lyrics and melodies he's taken from old songs, like really cool songs. And so I use that in my songwriting too. If I have a riff that I like from an old song, I'll put it into one of my songs. So, you know, a little change up to a little bit, so it wouldn't be total rip off. Or if there's a lyrics from an old song, like I was just inspired by a new song by a song that I did, Descendants, and a new song that I wrote with this band called Vintage Beach Dub Club. I just did a featuring thing on there. So I'm definitely influenced by Brad, and I like the way that he would like write old school rap style and then sing it in a melody. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I certainly do. And again, that's what I said. There's, you can definitely hear and feel a little bit of it. And obviously, on tour, the All Stars would play some Sublime songs. You guys didn't overkill it. You didn't overdo it. But every once in a while, there would be some Sublime songs in the set. Is there a favorite Sublime song that you'd like to do that you called out for the set list?
Right now,
Anytime, yes.
I would love to. I used to love playing Work That We Do a lot, and it was always fun to play Scarlet Begonias, which also is a Grateful Dead song. Lately I've been playing Don't Push. I love playing that song. I'll also do Santeria. I love that song. I don't care if it's huge radio. I play What I Got sometimes because I love that song. It's a great song. But I like to go from "Jah Don't Pay the Bills" all the way to the self-titled record. I'll do songs off all those records. I love to play. I don't know what favorite Sublime song it is. I love to play, but I love to play Sublime songs. I know that.
Yeah, and we love to hear you play them. I know that as well. Speaking of playing Sublime songs, there is a Sublime song that you did for the compilation album, "The House That Bradley Built," right?
Yes, right back.
Yeah, you did a great job with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
It was really fun to have you on that album.
Yeah, I was a little nervous, because that was the first thing I'd ever done since I got out of the hospital.
Uh-huh.
And I could have played it better, I believe, but I was fucking really honored to be asked to be on that compilation.
Oh, it was great to have you be a part of it.
Yeah. How's your kid doing?
Good. Yeah. Actually, I have two boys. They're both doing really good.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. One of them's getting married, in fact, in a couple of months, which is crazy.
Wow, man. I remember they were just born. That's where it is. Like in my head, like I was fucked up for so long that everybody's kids are in high school or getting married now. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Where did the time go?
I was in like a time warp. It's a time warp for me because all I did was fucked up for like 13 years or 17 years altogether,
Wow.
I put
proud
myself.
Of you for getting clean.
Yeah, I'm happy with myself. Yeah. Well, I put myself in 2 comas, it took me a long time before I got straight, and I was on life support both times before that, and I was in a machine that flipped me around and kept my blood circulating, and I don't even remember, but I was in this big metal machine. When you're asleep for over a month and you wake up, it's a trip. I'll tell you that.
Oh my word! I'll bet.
Yeah, that happened to me twice.
There had to be. So was there what was the final moment? When was enough? I mean, you said you spent, 17 years partying hard. Was there, what inspired you to finally get clean and stay that way?
If I was in the convalescent home and I was in this bed, like I was in bed 3 months and I was not able to to take care of I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself. I was in a diaper. I couldn't feed myself. I couldn't hold a fork up to my mouth. Um, I had to learn how to stand up again, and then I had to learn how to walk again. I was, I was really inspired by Halloween because I wanted to be able to go out trick or treating in the year from then. I was like, it's a month for Halloween, and then I want to be able to trick or treat next year. Because I love Halloween. I don't want to at least walk around in my costume and give kids hand candy and stuff like that. And that's fun. It sounds funny, but I really love Halloween. Okay.
Whatever
besides my life, besides being alive, I love that too. But when I got out of the hospital, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I got out of the hospital, I fucking got high one time. Okay, and I realized right then, I was like, I'm never going to do this again. I'm not going to do this to myself. I was up for like 3 days. I fucking was fucked up. Like, I didn't have my fucking medication from the hospital because I left against their advice. Okay? And I thought I could just go to my doctor and my primary doctor and get my medication reinstalled or whatever, But they were like, no, you got to come back and get an examination and all this shit. So I got high. And it was fucking horrible. I was looking at myself and I go, am I going to fucking do this to myself again? Am I going to let down all the people that I care about and just be a fucking idiot again? And I was like, nope, I'm not going to do this again. I'm over this shit. That's when I decided right then.
Good for you.
Yes. So I don't really consider that like going and getting back on drugs again. It was a slip. And I don't consider that even getting high because it wasn't even fun. You know what I mean? It was what I needed to do to reinstall into my head that this is bullshit. To reaffirm it that I didn't want to do it anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and having this rebound and this new wave of RAS-1 putting out music, I'm certainly grateful that happened, and so excited to see what is to come in the future for you, and just happy that you were able to have that moment, and we still have you here with us to talk about it.
You don't know how happy I am with my life. I've come so far in such a short time. You know what I mean? And I did it all myself. Miguel told me to go to Jungle Josh to make these beats and help me. And so with Jungle Josh's help and with my songs, I am so happy with the way my life's going. I'm engaged to be married. I have a beautiful fiance. Her name is Michael Ann Jeffrey, but it's going to be Michael Ann Smith soon. And she takes such good care of me. She makes me love myself. Like, she makes me feel like I can be loved again. You know what I mean? I didn't think I was able or worthy of being loved again, And now it makes me love myself so much more. But I love her so much. And, if it wasn't for being able to love myself, I wouldn't be able to love no one else, like Peter Tosh said. You know what I mean?
Right. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And this new music, it's going to knock your socks off, man. It's no joke. I'm taking it back to the fucking self-titled and fucking 40 ounces fucking sound. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like a lot of these bands, I'm not trying to diss these bands these days, but they're trickled down from like all their influences were Sublime and Slightly Stupid, okay? But my influences were the same as Sublime's was. You know what I mean? Like all that old school reggae, because I loved reggae before I ever seen Sublime, but. And then I'm keeping it roughneck hooligan style with my, I'm bringing in the scratching and the break beats and the distortion guitar and, along with the reggae. And that's like foremost thing. This whole album is a reggae album, but it also is, a jam through the fucking old 90s style.
Oh man, I can't wait. And like I said, just seeing you get back out there and playing again, I know there's been such an amazing outpour from fans and people that are sharing the videos and liking them, and it's just so great to see you back out there doing it. When when can we? I mean, do you have any news on when we can expect this album to be out, or is that all being worked out now with this big announcement? Because I haven't even heard this yet. Did you just break this news on Bradley's house?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And we haven't signed anything yet, but I'm sure that Fat Mike loves the music, and I'm sure we're gonna do it. And John Phillips and Silverback are gonna be involved somehow too. They're, because I gotta use all the weapons in my arsenal, But Fat Records is what I'm praying for, because I love them, and he tells me, am I looking for a label? I said, actually, yes, I am. So I'm like, woo, you know what I mean? I'm like, yes, Did that hurt your ears? Sorry.
No,
Awesome.
it didn't hurt my ears. It made my heart happy, because I'm excited to have you back and to see this excitement and energy coming into this new music that you have. And
you want to talk about drugs? Because I could tell you a lot about drugs.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have a lot of listeners that have struggled in the past or are maybe struggling now. And, I think just knowing what you went through and the fact that you're able to get to where you are right now, I mean, you're a bit of a miracle story, man.
Well, I guess
Definitely.
I am. But you know what? I just want to let them know that if anybody can get clean, it's me. If I can get clean, then anybody can, And speed will draw you in and make you think that it owns you. Like you can't live without it, But you can live without it. You can get past that shit. Get a little sleep. Get something else to do with your time, Start getting your priorities back. You know what I mean? And because otherwise, that shit don't even work anymore. It's bunk nowadays. They used to make good speed. Okay, the speed is bad now. It's fucking horrible. You know what I mean? 2005 was the last of that shit because the bikers quit making it. Okay, so get it over it. If you're tweaking, get over it. The speed don't work no more. Okay, that's a funny way of saying it, but it's true. Okay, Chiva, that heroin will fucking kill you. That shit will grab you by the balls and your heart and your fucking brain and fucking kill you. You know what I'm saying? That shit is nowhere shit. Okay? Fucking opioids, same fucking thing. You can be fucked up on those motherfucking things, and they will fucking take you out. That fentanyl shit is no joke. And they're making pills like with the pill compression thing out of fentanyl that look like Xanax, that look like fucking Percocet, that look like fucking Norco, but it's fucking fentanyl, and it will fucking kill you. You take one hit of that fentanyl, and that shit can kill you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
No joke.
It's no fucking joke.
Scary. Very
Yeah, it is. It's scary as fuck. I just lost a friend to fentanyl 2 weeks ago. My friend Will Porter.
So
he was only fucking 43 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I knew him since he was a 20-year-old kid. He used to be my ex-girlfriend's younger brother. And he was a great dude, you know what I mean? He even started rapping. It was with the Cottonmouth Kings for a little while. He did shit, you know what I mean? But 43 years old, gay as fuck now. You know what I mean? And I want to give a shout out to his family right now, and say to Michelle and Jason and his dad that I missed him, and I miss him already, and love and support to their family, you know.
That's a tough one, and like I said, I can't be happy enough, Ras, that we got you on the other side of that, and we've got you clean and new music. You're all over social media. You guys can follow Ras on Facebook. There's a RAS-1 page, and
there's my Richard A. Smith page. That's my other page, but there's a RAS-1 page, and then there's Richard A. Smith.
Yes, that is your personal page as well, and there are always updates on there, and you're always posting little snippets. You guys can catch where Ras is going to be playing, upcoming shows, and hopefully we can look for some information on this new upcoming album and some big news with Fat Mike. I'm super excited for it, man.
And if anybody wants to get with me on my page or whatever, go ahead and ask for a friend request. Send me a friend request, and we'll talk about shit. I just recently talked to some guy, and what was his name? Paul. or Tom, the guy that I talked to,
James?
Willie, Kelly fucking got the guy into
James.
a program, right?
Yeah, we connected him with Tyson Sullivan, one of our board members, and he was able to get him
Yeah.
a 30-day
So if anybody
scholarship
needs
at
to
Recovery
reach
Unplugged.
me,
Yeah.
just send me a message, and follow me and whatever, like let's get together and like so this let's I'll try to do what I can.
I think that's great. So great that you're giving back and sharing your experiences with everybody too. I think it makes a huge difference, and it's so great that because you can relate to people on a totally different level,
Dude, I was awake for 17 years.
Yeah.
I didn't get no sleep at all.
Yeah, crazy. Well, certainly glad you're still here with us and able to talk about it and, share your experiences and your wisdom and, of course, to make great music, too. So thank you so much for fighting, for sure.
Thank you, Kelly.
You bet.
Yeah, it's great. And like I said, for everybody that's listening, RAS is a perfect example. He's somebody who was there at the mountaintop. Obviously, you struggled with it, and now you're back, man. And we're excited.
The guy's name was James that we got in touch with for the rehab. Right. James.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you, homeboy.
Yeah, man, it means a lot to be able to have you come on here and chat and let everybody know what's going on with you now and share some stories from the past. And once we get that album out and it's rocking and rolling and you've got some other news, you're always welcome on Bradley's House, man. We can't tell you enough how much we appreciate you taking time for us.
Anytime. Just you got anything that people want to ask me or anything?
You know what? We didn't. I didn't put out for any fan questions for you, and I'm sure that there would probably be a billion of them if I did. But I think with you just putting out your page there, I know how responsive you are on there. And like you said, you just reached out. Someone just reached out not that long ago, and you guys were able to get him set up. And I think it's amazing how you make yourself so available to the fans. And I know that to you, you're like, hey, I'm just a guy who's here to help, but to us fans, man, you're a legend. So to be able to have that kind of access to you is amazing, and I can't thank you enough for doing that.
Yeah, and I want to send a shout out to Papa Noel, and I want to send out the shout out to Z-Man for when he helped me try to help me out a few years back, years back. Yeah, don't thank you those guys, your dad and Z-Man too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Well, Kelly, I had mentioned to you off air many times, and I mentioned it in this show. RAS-1 is one of my all-time favorites, and to be able to have him on here, and he mentioned it in the show, and it's no secret that it was touch and go for a while, and just very fortunate to have him here with us and have him healthy now and back out playing music again. It's just really exciting, and it was awesome to have him on the show.
Oh, totally. So glad he's doing better. He's, a great example of pushing through. He's had obviously some struggles, as he mentioned, and he's tried several times to get clean, and he's sticking with it now, and we're super proud of him and definitely support whatever it is that he's doing. So it was really fun to have him on.
Yeah, it really was. And anytime we get to have a show, when we put a show out, I always get excited. But there's been certain guests that have really had me more jacked up than others. And it was great to be able to have a conversation with RAS. Now, guys, we mention it every single week. The reason why we were able to put these amazing interviews out and have people come on and tell these stories, it's because we're all trying to spread the word for the Knoll Family Foundation so we can get Bradley's House up and built and start to help musicians who have been in spots like RAS was. Lots of cool, fun, exciting stuff going on. Make sure you're following our social media. Kelly, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what the Knoll Family Foundation has coming up in the next few weeks here?
We have some really exciting stuff coming up. Starting this month, we're going to be hearing a lot more about our online auction, which is going to run from September 22nd through the 29th. We'll definitely be getting more info out about that on our social media, but it's going to be really cool. We've had some amazing donations coming in, and I'm super excited for everybody to see. Again, that's going to be September 22nd through 29th. So definitely watch our socials for that. And then the Knoll Family Foundation will also be at Reggae Rise Up Vegas. We just found out, so we're super excited for that. That's going to be October 9th and 10th in Las Vegas. So make sure you grab your tickets quick. I know they're selling out fast, and you can get more info on that at reggaerisupvegas.com.
Yeah, guys, if you're going to be in Vegas for Reggae Rise Up, find the Knoll Family Foundation booth. Come over, say hello. T-shirts will be available. Lots of cool information. Hope to see everybody out there. Guys, it means so much, all of the support. We see you guys there sharing the podcast and sharing the links. The Knoll Family Foundation has their own eBay store. So there's lots of amazing stuff on there, pins and all sorts of just neat Knoll Family Foundation merchandise. All the proceeds go directly to the foundation so Bradley's house can get up and built. Also, you can visit law-records.com, pick up the compilation album, The House That Bradley Built. You've heard us talk so much about it each week. It's really an amazing album, and it's been a huge supporter of the Knoll Family Foundation. So thank you again to Law Records. And of course, at the end of every single podcast, we try to bring you guys a little bit of music. And this week, it only makes sense to play our guest, RAS-1, doing one of my all-time favorites, Right Back, off of the compilation CD, The House That Bradley Built. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Tweaking by yourself at night can make you feel alone. Your girlfriend says so, I don't really know. That don't mean that we fucked around. That night last week when you left town, I was tweaking by myself one night. That's when I wrote this tune, and I did not have no need for that bed in my hotel room. Sometimes right now, since I've left the pen, feels like I'm right back there again. Sometimes I pray, and I'm waiting for some bright holiday when I buy myself that gun, yeah, and I'm right back where I'm from. Tweaking by yourself at night can make you feel alone. I got me a baby doll girlfriend, she's a little low. That don't mean that I fucked around. I said, now, ooh, I like to keep that high ground. And sometimes I pray when I'm waiting for some bright holiday, yeah, when I buy myself that gun, ooh, yeah, and I'm right back where I'm from. Oh, I pray, but I'm waiting for some bright holiday. It's a holiday, yeah, and I buy myself that gun, ooh, yeah, and I'm right back where I'm from.